Well, this is why I love this place. We've been here 27 years. There's the entrance. If you follow that fence and go straight, you go to the barn in the back. You turn up this way, you come towards the house. Used to be cow fields across the road, but they're slowly working on a subdivision. So we come up the driveway here. Here's the house. This Leland cypress tree right here, I moved it from my last house when it was about 11 feet tall 27 years ago. So it's getting up there. These lilies die back and grow back every year. It's quite a bed of them. These trees are apple trees. We don't do much with them but feed them to the horses. We did have this entire area here as a garden, but we've since made a couple of raised beds. Laura's been trying to grow something over here, broccoli and such. And this morning I planted some butternut squash, about 30 plants in here. Not sure where the vines are going to go. We changed the fence around a little bit here, and myself and Jimmy and some help built this platform. And then we had a company come in and put that roof up. The RV purchase was temporary insanity. Sorry. Of course, I run all the electrical and such. Of course, I'm enjoying my little tour here. I got several of these boxes. You know, you got the 4-prong, the 3-prong, which that's an adapter, so we can plug something in. USB plugs. So when I can start up a generator, I can just plug it in out here and it powers everything on the property. Did have a little metal shed here, but I had my shoulder rebuilt and I either had to go to physical therapy or do something else. So I built a building and I poured that concrete out in the driveway. I had them pour a slab down here and we laid block, filled it with concrete. And Jimmy and I put in this split system mini heat pump. It was like $700. It took us a few hours to figure out the instructions. I still need to cover that with wood. Need to cover, oh, I dropped the phone, dadgummit. Need to cover the soffit with wood. I still have some little bits of this to do. The downstairs is like our, storage for tools and such. The upstairs is hardwood floors, and Jimmy lives up there most of the time. So this pad is 4,000 psi concrete with fiber. I got one of the several modems in that building upstairs as part of my AI mesh system. This was actually a lot of work putting this little footer here, which solved my water problem going over there and hitting the house, because when it rains, this is about 5 inches deep. My plan is to come out with floor joists and cantilever over this all the way to this tree, which if we get lined up, there's not a lot of room. It might not be able to match that other part of the house. But this is open over here, so the water just goes right through there. Recently put up some bird feeders, and unfortunately bird seed gets expensive when they eat $30 worth every 3 days. All these bushy things with a few weeds in them are blueberries, so we have to, as they ripen, we'll have to get busy on that. It's a sawhorse I made when I first moved in here 27 years ago, and we had a street party. Laura says, "Why are you making it so strong?" I'm like, "Because you don't know what people are going to do." As soon as they got here, we had 3 adults on each side of it. It's like 1,200 pounds total. Horses are thinking I'm feeding, which I'm not. All these trees this size or smaller, most of them we planted. I mainly just put in the above ground pool when Jimmy was about 12 or so because I just wanted them to be familiar with the water and learn how to swim good. I was on the swim team and such. Got a bridge going over there to our deck with a hot tub. There's my outdoor dogs. You have to have outdoor dogs for security. Lily and Buster. Hey Buster. Hey Lily. And this is the gravel drive that went straight up the fence from the front. We got the fat pen over there with automatic heated waterers. That little structure which I'm trying to show out there in the pasture holds hay rolls. This is a hot walker right here in the circle here. That's an outdoor dog pen, the barn, the hay shed. So I've got about 20 cameras out here. But the rolls of hay, which are about 1,000 pounds each, they're half the cost per pound of square bales. But handling them, you have to have your tractor. The chickens, their door closed. They're sitting on their pipe, so it closes their own door over there. And you get the eggs right here. Makes it easy. They lay green and pink eggs. There's another hay feeder building. That way you're not loading square bales and throwing leaves over the fence for 3 hours a day. There's little Sally. And there's Bam Bam the goat. The goat just wandered up the driveway and moved in. We have to have a lot of pens. See, horses can eat from this side to that and the other side, and that's two different pastures. I've got little network boxes because all these cameras are cabled with Cat 6A, which is the first cable you can use. It'll do 10 gigabits. But I have a network switch in there, a battery backup, a plug, so it can be used for a variety of things. I just haven't taken that black thing down. Archery backstop. Can't really use that. It's funny how you move on from one thing to the next quickly in life. So these, the goat and Sally have this little strip right here. Then there's another strip right there which nobody lives in. That's why there's grass. And that's that building out in the pasture that I was talking about. And here's another hay feeder building. This one was designed to feed from both sides, but you can also close up the doors. So this is like if you have a fat horse and you just need to open the doors for a few hours a day. Jimmy and I built that weed sprayer with the welder. Seemed to take longer than I anticipated. I have to catch the rat snakes and put them in a cage because they go down there and eat all the eggs. That one right there I showed you is about 5.5 feet long. So I had his head up on my eyeballs and his tail was on the ground. This shop was mostly here when I moved in. There was, of course, no carpet. The guy parked his dump truck in here. And I made a platform here, and then we'd gotten a bunch of salvage material, so I made a shelf and put the lights in the shelves. Those are like commercial doors and stuff. They're pretty strong. Tried to brace it up so it'd be sturdy. Put a little ladder going up. And then I added this roof on out here. It's kind of like all my junk, all my guy stuff. But I got a lot of guy stuff. We've been working on diesels and trucks and houses and plumbing and maintaining 6 rental houses for 20 years. Now we've got different ones and different chores. Rebuilt a couple of mini bikes when Jimmy was little. Now I just probably need to sell them, but then you put in so much work, it's unbelievable. That yellow one's from the 1970s. So I'm definitely back here in the junk area. Got the tractor, best tool ever. More stuff on the back side here. Raw material storage, conveyor belt, electrical wire, heavy duty stuff to run a service entrance. Mower, one of the best tools we ever got. Still got a little porta potty. And this was originally, now I'm trying to remember, I think for our RV. And then we got a boat, which had to be taller. Then we got another RV. And anyway, we parked 2 horse trailers here, and we have parties. And Laura just finished a horse camp. And I see my storage container has the door open. Thank goodness I'm coming up here and checking things out. So this is the main arena. We've rebuilt it at least 3 times, if not more. We had a smaller one when we first moved in, then we've rebuilt it a couple of times, and then we might have had to redo it a few years back. These are persimmon trees, which Grandma Pat encouraged me to plant. They were just little tiny things. There's one there and one there that survived. And there's a third one. I planted about 5 originally. Got an outdoor fan, a camera for the, if you got flies or mosquitoes, you can just sit here, turn the fan on. Keeps the bugs at bay. We do horse shows here. We need to redo our junipers in here. They kind of all died. And this is the observation deck I built before I had my shoulder redone, because I knew I was going to be out of commission for a while. Pretty sturdy. Couldn't figure out what to use for the front railing down there, because judges have to be able to see the horse's legs and such. But you can see we've got it. Everything's put together with lag bolts, of course. It's the only thing I use. Critters move in everywhere around here. I don't know if anything's in there. I'll have to look at that film later because I can't see. But everything's pretty sturdy. This drop down boards here kind of keep the rain always comes from that side, so that helps a lot with rain. I ran power out here, and we got water when we first put our well in, and I made a little gate so people can go in and out here. This is where Laura teaches most of her lessons. These woods are about 300 feet by 300 feet, and they're completely honeycombed with trails, because the kids like to go in the woods, you know, and you learn different things riding a horse in the woods. Like not to run your leg into trees, but like here's an entrance. Just show you what I'm talking about. We got trails going everywhere. So you can go this way. You can go this way. So everywhere you go, about every 40 feet, you can turn one way or the other. I had to add 5 minutes if I was going to walk through all that. I'm already up to 13 minutes. They really did some incredible crafts at the horse camp. They decided just to do 1 week. I probably shouldn't walk out there. But there's the second arena. So you can have lessons going on in both arenas, which we do almost every day. The problem is you can really only have about 4 kids in a lesson at a time and be able to talk to them. And if you can see, there's an observation deck down there without a roof. And so the sun's setting. I'm not exactly sure what time it is, maybe 4:30 or 5 or something. And it's all shaded. We have a lot of lights. We have eight big, not this little light that's on, but the ones that go around the arena on the metal poles. 400 watt pulse start lights. Bought stuff off eBay, put them together, wired it up. Like everything else. Bought a little thing of bamboo on sale for $2 about, I'm not sure how long ago, 20 something years ago. I think I planted it right in the middle over there somewhere. They were only about 2 feet tall. And then it's black bamboo, so this stuff stays green all year long, which is pretty cool. And this is not the best of soil up here, just a lot of gravel and such. We went over to Alpharetta. I took 2 guys with me and every tool I owned in a trailer. Took this apart. I think I bought it for a couple $100. And just threw it in the woods, all the parts, for like 6 or 7 years. And then we dragged it out and put it together. I think it even has the same floor system. I got metal supports under there that I got from Barry Puckett. And this is where we keep our square bales and some grain for the horses. Just notice that, that bamboo keeps trying to get in. Like this little one here that's about 3 feet tall, they'll grow about close to a foot a day. And they're always growing. Pretty amazing, really. We'll cut some of that up and have the kids use it in the craft. But there's not enough kids and not enough grass. Oh yeah, on the snake side of my shop, this is a lot of my junk, which is very hard to organize because there's so darn much. Got shelving up here to hold cans and spray cans. That helped a lot. Man, does that need organizing. The whole shop could use a new roof. But if you've noticed, everything's shady. You just go from one shady spot to the next around here. You notice all this is shade pretty much. All this is shade. Everything. I like shade. Had several opportunities to buy that 6 acres next door, but management intervened and it was sold, and they built a big house here right next to my raw material storage. Takes a lot of maintenance. You see how the ground built up here as the horses erode the dirt and the rain pushes it down. We've had bobcats clear out this dirt, about once or twice a year. One of my AI mesh systems, I have two AI mesh systems out here, networks. That's the main router up there. It's a indoor router modem upside down, mounted inside a Home Depot bucket with a piece of solar panel on top of it, because I figured the bucket was going to crack and stuff. And this is my second position that I've put this in, because the other one was on top of the barn over there, and it was very scary to do anything with it when it burns out every 4 years. But this one will pivot on that. All I got to do is loosen that and just walk the whole thing down right here into the parking lot and do whatever I need to do with it. That's my chicken brooder. When you buy baby chickens, you have to bring them right out there and put them in there. Turn the light bulb on, because they got to stay in there for about a week. And you can close this up. There's a little door down there, and that big door right there closes, because you can't have the new little chickens around the big chickens, because the big chickens will eat them, because they're like little T-Rexes. And that's about it. We planted these sawtooth oaks, of course. Anything this size we planted. And most of these sawtooth oaks are broken off, either broken in half or broken off. I think both of those might be sawtooth oaks there. Hey, Lily. Lily's a good girl. Lily. Oh, Lily. I know. I'm going to come in there and get you dogs. I'm going to get y'all. Those are Australian Shepherds. And with COVID, we put in a couple of sinks outdoors so people could wash their hands. And I've had to redo the pool about 3 times. The deck is a nightmare. Oh, this is Jasmine. And I put this hot tub right on a corner here of a deck with no railing, because you can actually squeeze a trailer right over here and wiggle that thing onto it and wiggle it off of there. So that's about our third hot tub. Again, that blue steel underneath that bridge is from Barry Puckett. The house was all like yellow and brown masonite. We just had this, when we first moved in, we had this vinyl siding put on. Of course, we're all electric. We don't have gas here except the propane that I ran in for the fireplace. Crawl space. And a few years ago, we had this rock put on. We really like it too. And it was connected to one of the guys that was taking horseback riding lessons, so we got a good deal. I had rotten wooden steps here, and I'm like, can you do anything with these steps? And so I'm pretty much thrilled with that. We did all inside of here. Got a little blue light going on there. And we had to put a ledge there just to define the you know, bottom and top. And that's about it. Jimmy was a baby when I saw this truck, and my intuition was going crazy. My knees were just shaking, so I knew I had to get it. That was the clue. And so that was about 24 years ago. It had 100,000 miles on it then. I've since changed the engine and transmission, drove it a ridiculous amount of miles. I think it's on about 3.25 right now. Jimmy's modified it, changed the wheels. I really like the mags a lot better than I got up at the shop. You know, he has light bars. He has lights underneath that cover in the bed. It's pretty cool. Nice truck. And that's about it. We used to have more fruit trees out here in the front. Buddy just hunts little critters constantly, but never catches anything, which is kind of funny, actually, because I don't want him catching nothing. We're about due for a new roof on this house. This is a tulip tree, so it blooms out, puts all kind of flowers out with an incredible burst of energy, and then they all fall off and make a mess. But that's about all there is to it. Signing off.